Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Greetings from Koh Samui. It's a little bit rainy again today. I'm sitting here at my house watching some YouTube. As you can see behind me, I got YouTube pulled up. And it got me thinking, maybe I should create another YouTube video. So in this one, I want to discuss why it's more attainable to live like you're semi-retired over here in Thailand, even if you don't have a ton of money in the bank. So with that being said, I've got a nice cup of coffee brewed, and let's get started. So first and foremost is the much lower and more affordable cost of living. I actually asked ChatGPT to come up with 5 reasons why it's easier to retire in Thailand. And number one, first and foremost, obviously, is the affordable cost of living. Now, as a Westerner, let's say you're earning a salary in the States, for example, you're getting paid in US dollars, maybe you have a remote job, you have an online business, or maybe even a YouTube channel, right? And you're getting paid in US dollars. You can then use what's called geo arbitrage, which is essentially, earning a Western salary and moving to a country with a lower cost of living. That's geo arbitrage to your advantage. Now over here, housing, food, transportation, and healthcare are all significantly cheaper than Western countries. For example, my house that I'm renting here in Samui, which is generally regarded as one of the most expensive places to live in the entire country of Thailand, also Phuket. Phuket's quite expensive as well. But my rent here is less than $600 per month. I live in a town called Lamai, and I'm only about 8 minutes from the beach and still spending a small fraction, 3 to 4 times cheaper than what I would be spending, probably even more now. That was like 5 years ago, back in Austin, Texas, right? And have a brand new house. It's fantastic. I've been furnishing the place. As you can see, I got a nice TV. I just got a couch yesterday. So I just want to make this place more and more comfortable and make it a nice home to live in for both me and my fiance, right? So at $600 a month is very affordable. I mean, that's actually a little bit on the higher end for housing now, and the prices are starting to go up, although not significantly here in Samui. It's getting more and more popular. More tourists are coming to the island, these sorts of things, which is driving up the prices. But it's still a small fraction of what I would be spending back in the States, right? So that goes into semi-retirement. Even though I don't have, tons of savings or stock investments, crypto portfolios and all this stuff, I can still have a pretty good, quality of life over here for a much lower cost of living. And if you were to go up to, let's say, a place like Chiang Mai, you could pretty easily find a house or an apartment or even a condo for around $300 to $500 per month, easily. So it's also going to depend on where you're living in Thailand. I happen to choose one of the most expensive places, but I'm still able to get by over here pretty easily on both my YouTube and Facebook payouts, right? And I've talked about this in a lot of my other videos as well. So even though I'm, probably a long ways away from retirement, I can't actually get the retirement visa for another 12 years. So I still got a decent amount of time to figure my shit out, to actually retire. And a lot of my friends over here are retired as well. So they've been great mentors to me over the past 4 years, roughly. And I've learned a lot from my retired friends. I've learned more from them than I would from probably a lot of the entrepreneurs out there. And I would say for the better. Second reason is excellent healthcare at low cost. In fact, I just recently went into Bangkok Hospital, which is generally regarded as one of the best hospitals in the entire country. They have a branch here and tends to be quite a bit more expensive, as you would imagine, compared to, let's say, a government hospital or somewhere. But even still, I went in to get a full checkup at Bangkok Hospital because they were running a special promotion. I made a YouTube video about it recently, just talking about it. And that was about, I think it was around 1,500 baht. So that's roughly $45 USD to go in and get a full diagnostic checkup, everything included. I got to speak with the doctor for about 15 minutes. He answered all my questions. And I was really impressed, right? Just professional, super helpful staff. The hospital is also beautiful inside as well. Usually I hate going into hospitals unless I'm sick or something. I don't really like being in hospitals, but over here, it's like a pleasant experience. And I actually found myself smiling while I was in the hospital because everyone was so friendly, and the hospitality was fantastic. I almost felt like I was in a resort or something at the hospital. So yeah, I went there to get both my medical certificate and the full checkup. And it was only about 1,500 baht. I didn't even have to show proof of medical insurance, health insurance, or anything like that. They took a look at me regardless. So I don't know how much that would cost back in the States, probably $600 at least, possibly. I don't even know, especially if I didn't have health insurance, right? So yeah, I mean, the healthcare over here is world class. A lot of people actually come over to Thailand specifically for medical tourism, as it's called. So they want to come over here because cheaper hospital care and just world-class service. So yeah, healthcare costs small fraction of what you'd be paying in the States, and I would say, much better quality as well. Number 3 is the cheap and accessible public transportation. So let's say Bangkok. Take Bangkok, for example. They have the BTS, which is essentially it's a sky train that goes around the entire city. And they also have the MRT, which is the subway system. Between the two of those, you can pretty much get around the entire city for very, very cheap. I think it's maybe $1.50 to take the SkyTrain or the subway anywhere you want to go around Bangkok. And obviously, given the fact that it's such a massive city, the population's around 13 million, they need a really, really good public transportation system. Unlike New York, right? New York's public transportation system is a total mess. China makes New York's public transportation system look very, very antiquated and just like a relic of the past, right? You got roaches crawling all over the place, rats. It's disgusting. And Thailand's public transportation system as well. I've never been to China yet, but I've seen some videos about public transportation over there, and it looks like something in the future, right? And also here in Bangkok, the public transportation system is absolutely incredible. And that's usually how I get around the city, is just by taking the SkyTrain or the MRT. And they also have taxis, which are very affordable as well. Just make sure that you ask them to turn on the meter. Otherwise, you could potentially get scammed. They do have taxi scams here. Although I will say that it's not nearly, from my personal experience, not as big of an issue as it was for me in the Philippines. Things just work over here. There's usually like a taxi driver waiting for you. You get a ticket at the airport, give the taxi driver your ticket. He'll take you wherever you want to go. And they also have Grab as well. So you can take Grab. If it's similar to Uber, or what's the other one? Lyft. I don't know if Lyft is still around anymore, but it used to be back in the day in the States. So you can just hail a Grab anywhere you want to go. And it's just very cost effective, super convenient. And you can also use Grab for food delivery as well, similar to like Uber Eats in the States. So yeah, lots of excellent public transportation pretty much anywhere you go, but mostly in Bangkok. Here in Samui, we pretty much just got the ring road that goes around the entire island. It's an island. We don't really need public transportation all that much, at least in terms of subways. That's not even possible as far as I know. But yeah, we've got taxis. You can take Songtaos, which are a little bit more affordable than taxis. I will say that taxis in Samui are quite expensive. Like to go from the airport to, let's say, Lamai, where I live, it's going to be 500, 600 baht, which is very expensive compared to Bangkok, which is usually only around 30, 40, maybe 100 baht, depending on how far you're going in the city. But yeah, taxis, super affordable. Public transportation, generally speaking, excellent over here. And number 4, we've got abundance of free and low-cost activities. So, you can go out, get a drink or a couple drinks, maybe 3 or 4 drinks at the bars without breaking the bank. You can get a beer for around 50, 60, well, maybe more like 60 or 80, sometimes 100, 120 baht. That's still like around, $2 to $3, maybe $4 for a beer. And cocktails over here also not too expensive. Sorry, it just started pouring rain outside. I don't know if you can hear it. Hopefully you can still hear me all right on the video. If not, I might have to fix this up in post-processing a little bit. But yeah, you can go out, have a nice drink, have a nice night on the town without breaking the bank. Whereas, let's say back in the States, a cocktail is going to run you, what, maybe $12, $15, even $30, which is crazy if you ask me. Like $30 for a cocktail, that's ridiculous. Over here, you can get a really good cocktail for maybe $5, $6. So again, it's not going to break the bank. You can go out, have a nice night on the town, without worrying about it dipping into your savings or, you know, spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars just going out to party at night. And that's one reason why a lot of foreigners, expats over here, get a bit carried away, because things are so affordable. To go out, have a nice night, or go out and experience the nightlife isn't really going to break the bank. It's not going to cost you that much. So some foreigners over here, they start drinking way too much. I was like that a little bit when I first came over here, not nearly to that extent anymore. And yeah, but it can be a bit problematic, and some people just start drinking way too much. So you do have to be careful about that. But, you know, is it really that big of a deal? Probably not. Just goes to show how much better life is over here, and you can always go out and party as much as you want. But for me personally, like, I just prefer to keep things in an even keel. And my fiance really helps me with that as well. I'm not going out partying all the time. She doesn't really like going out partying all the time, all that much. So, yeah. But yeah, much lower cost activities. You can also do tours over here. That's really not that expensive to, let's say, do a waterfall tour, or, go out, do an ATV tour or something like that. Very inexpensive, generally speaking. And number 5, low taxation or no taxation. So this is going to be a really, really big one for, you know, a lot of retirees and even digital nomads and remote workers that want to come over here. And you don't necessarily want to be spending an arm and a leg, basically theft from taxation. So for retirees and digital nomads, Thailand offers a very tax-friendly environment. Foreign income is often untaxed if not remitted locally, allowing you to stretch your money further. So let's say you're earning a salary for a company, you're working remotely for a U.S. company, and you're just remitting. So basically you're transferring the money from your U.S. bank account over to your Thai bank account. That may or may not be taxed. It's still not 100% clear. Even a lot of the lawyers and attorneys over here are not exactly sure how that's going to work. There hasn't been an official, I guess, announcement or anything like that yet. But, you know, later this year, there's only maybe like another 2 weeks until the end of the year. Possibly next year, we will find out for sure what that entails with the, you know, remittances between a foreign bank account and over to a Thai bank account. But so far, it's nothing that we, you know, are terribly concerned about. And also, Thailand has what's called a double tax agreement with the U.S. So as long as you're paying your taxes in the United States, if you're working for a remote company, or maybe you have your own online business, a business set up in the States, then you know, pretty much assured to not be paying taxes twice. So yeah, very low taxation, especially if you're making below a certain threshold. I want to say it's like around $20,000 a year, something like that. You will most likely be paying zero tax. If it's, you know, millions and millions of baht, you are going to be in a higher tax bracket, although it's not going to be super high, not like in the States or, let's say, Netherlands. Netherlands has an extremely high tax rate. I think it's like 40-50%. Even if you're in a low tax bracket, you're still paying a ton of money in taxes every single year, right? So just make sure to pay your taxes in the States, and you should be all set over here. And also, if you get the LTR visa, you're pretty much capped at 17% tax, no matter what. So that's a very high, that's a low tax threshold. I have friends over here who are on the LTR, and I don't even know if they pay taxes whatsoever. If so, it's going to be 17%. maybe they sell some stock, they transfer it over to a Thai bank account or something like that, then they're probably going to be paying taxes on those remittances. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Keep in mind, I'm not a tax lawyer or anything like that, so it's best to do your own research and actually consult with a tax attorney over here. But yeah, these are just some of the reasons why it's much easier to live like you're retired, even if you don't have, hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. You don't not necessarily required, right? You can have a really, really good life over here for low money, right? So that's why more and more expats, retirees, digital nomads, remote workers, online business owners, they're just fed up with paying all the taxes, and for what, in their home country, and they're coming over to a more tax-friendly haven like Thailand. So let's say you're in your 30s or 40s, maybe even your 50s. You can get the retirement visa if you're 50 years old, and you need to show 800,000 baht in a Thai bank account. And if you're not 50, you're below 50, let's say you have a remote job, or you can show proof of funds in a bank account, then you can get the DTV visa, which I will most likely be getting early next year. I'm probably going to fly to Kuala Lumpur. I've already gotten a sponsorship letter typed up from my former boss, and we may continue working together as well. Not official yet, but once I have that sponsorship letter, I actually don't have to show the proof of funds, as far as I understand it. I took a test online and just answered a few simple questions, and I said, yeah, I have the sponsorship letter, and they said, yeah, you'll be approved for the DTV visa. That's a 5-year visa, 6 months at a time. It's 10,000 baht, so that's around $300. Very low application fee to get the DTV visa, and you just need to apply for that outside of Thailand. So I've been wanting to visit Kuala Lumpur for a long time. It's been on my bucket list for quite a few years now. And I just have to schedule the appointment through the e-visa system. I'm missing one document. Once that is, I have to go to immigration to collect one more document. Once that's done, I upload that document. I schedule the appointment at the immigration office, the Thai embassy in Kuala Lumpur, which seems to be based on my research, seems to be like the #1 Thai embassy to go to. Their website's very professional. They've got all the information you could possibly want on there. So I decided to schedule that appointment in KL. I'll go there probably early next year, like January 9th or so, before my visa expires. Stay in KL for let's say around 10 days or so, because I do want to explore the city. Maybe go to other parts of Malaysia as well. I possibly have a media collaboration with a hotel on the coast, closer to Singapore. So could do some business potentially over there as well, get the DTV visa, come back to Thailand, and then I got 5 years. I may need to cancel that if I get married, though. Potentially, once I get the marriage certificate, I'll probably have to void out the DTV visa, but hopefully not. It's just a temporary solution for now. But yeah, that's a very, very compelling visa for a lot of digital nomads, remote workers that want to come over here. And then, as long as you have an online business or something that's generating passive income where you're just getting paid every month, it's really not all that much different than getting a pension. Let's say if you're retired, you just have to put in a certain amount of work, maybe four hours a day. That's how long I typically work per day. And then you're just getting earned income every month into your bank account. And at that point, you're kind of semi-retired, right? Just put in a certain amount of work every week and sit back and watch the money roll in every single month. It's not really all that much different from a pension if you're retired. So, yeah, lower cost of living, better quality of life, delicious food, friendly people, beautiful beaches. You've got cities, islands, mountains, lots of places to explore in Thailand. Beautiful country. It's never been colonized by another country, which is awesome as well. So the culture is still intact. Buddhist country, peaceful. Nobody really wants to attack Thailand except for maybe Myanmar, but that's neither here nor there. And yeah, very safe as well. I never feel in danger walking around at night. Doesn't matter where I am, whether I'm in the city, on the island, maybe up in Chiang Mai. doesn't matter. Very safe country. And yeah, I plan on staying here for at least another 2 to 3 years, most likely longer. And Koh Samui will probably remain my home base for the foreseeable future. No real plans to go back to the States anytime soon unless it's to see family. And I would much rather my family retire. Well, my mom's already retired, but my dad still needs to retire. And he can always come on over to Thailand and enjoy better quality of life over here. So if you're planning on retiring, or maybe you're a digital nomad remote worker looking for the best visa options, want to start an online business, maybe want to launch a YouTube channel, something that you can do from anywhere, just drop a comment down below. I'd be happy to share some resources with you. And also check out the pinned comment to sign up for my free newsletter. Costs you nothing, and you basically get an email a couple times a week for about a month, providing value. And ultimately, the goal with that is to upsell you to my coaching program, which is $1,500 for 6 weeks. I just recently lowered the price a little bit because I want to start getting more clients in the door. So if that sounds interesting to you, let me know in the comments. And with that being said, that's all I have for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, stay safe. Peace from Samui. Till the next one. Signing off.